Testing. So, you guys are new here. My name is Pure, aka Jason, also known as Monzon. I I've been on YouTube for like not even a couple years, but I just haven't made content because I wasn't afraid. I was just hesitant to make content, but that's another story. So, representing my sports takes, we were going to talk about either how you represent basketball or how you represent sports. But today, I think we're going to talk about um what is it? What is that? We're going to talk about sports and highlight culture and how it's affecting not just NBA basketball, MLB sports, NFL sports, all the sports. And not a negative standpoint, even, well, kind of is, but I'm trying to look at it from a positive standpoint. And this is another way of trying to make a video or even live streaming. That's why you see this stand in the mic that I pre-bought. So it's another story if you guys would like to ask me about that. I did explain it before on my Twitch channel, which I just ended the live stream like maybe 2 minutes ago. So y'all on Kick. You can see me on Kick, and this is a separate VOD from the one I used earlier. So today we're talking about representing a sport and highlight culture. So how do you represent sports in a positive standpoint? You can represent sports by playing it, speaking positively about it. Like, how do you mean speaking positively about it? Not bashing it like Shaquille O'Neal being paid $15 million a year to not watch the Detroit Pistons and just not knowing of the next upcoming generation of era of players and such. Like, knowing of like a Francis Tiafoe, maybe even a Rafael Nadal, maybe a Roger Federer, maybe even a Derek Jeter. To a point where we just admire their game and have praise for them and appreciation and giving them flowers for what they've done for sports and why their life has impacted others, even me. So another way to represent sports is like, by the way, this is all coming from the dome, all coming from them. To represent sports, you can wear like jerseys and stuff, but not everybody can do that. You can just be a fan, not like a heckler. Because there's always going to be hecklers. But yeah. Choosing to actually watch a sport and enjoy it instead of not bashing it, but like bringing a negative standpoint and negative criticism. And another thing is like the I won't say like style of play, but like yeah, I was just about to get into this in the highlight culture. The highlight culture part. The highlight culture is like a Ball is Life mixtape, an Overtime Elite mixtape, highlights of your favorite player for like 1 hour, maybe 5 hours, maybe 8 hours, maybe 12 hours. And yeah. But yeah, talking about basketball. Basketball in general, not even just basketball, from highlight standpoints. You can watch like an Mbappe mixtape for like, I don't know, 30 minutes, a Derek Jeter hitting highlights and fielding thing for probably like 20 minutes. There's a lot in highlight culture that we don't really talk about and how it's changing the game. Like, people back then, they didn't have highlights. They had to go physically to a game, maybe even listen to a radio or look into a TV if TVs weren't even invented back then, or a newspaper. Like, the word didn't get around sports to like Europe or like Brazil, even Asia, yes, Asia, like the Pacific Islands, China, Mongolia. What's another place? Turkey, not Turkey. Turkey's not in Asia. uh, but yeah, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. What I mean is sports are big influences in people's days, their entertainment, their watch time, their craftiness, their jobs. Like, yeah, sports is just an interesting topic to go over. Like, you can play a game of basketball, virtual basketball, through NBA 2K, their pro play thing, but I'm not a promoter for NBA 2K because NBA 2K has trashed me, but that's for another video. Like, my reasoning of pulling highlight culture into the mix because I try to pull someone's defensive game, their offensive playmaking, their shooting abilities, their passing, their just and their confidence in their game, their motive, their just style of gameplay. And it just never works out because it's all robotic in a NBA 2K standpoint. Not just NBA 2K, but like, well, it's only NBA 2K for basketball, not like an NCAA college basketball or a EA Sports NBA Live game. Even Madden, they're trying to implement not even mocap, but like digitalized AI into sporting events, even gameplay or like increments, just small increments of aspects of the game that if you play video games and you play sports at the same time, sometimes they don't even make sense. Like if you play MLB the Show, they have not even a PCI. Well, they do have a PCI in the game, but in the outside IRL world, they have like wood bats, gloves where you physically have to look in the sky and catch a baseball. Like if you're hitting in baseball, you're going to have to physically hit the ball, have good eye coordination, good accuracy. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is highlight culture, just putting out highlights. You get some aspects of the game, but not fully apparent of it. Like, you get a small piece of it, not like how someone acts. A perfect example I would like to use is Boston Celtics Hall of Fame legend Larry Bird, number 33 from French Lick, Indiana. You can watch like his late 70s highlights, his 80s highlights with Magic Johnson winning like 4 titles, I believe, in the NBA, while Magic has 5. But you can only watch that, not even a full game of it. Like watching a full game, it's a whole different experience. Just watching highlights of like 9, 10, 15 minutes, however long. It doesn't give you the full aspect. Or like it gives you some aspect of like his shooting, his playmaking, his kind of dunking ability. It doesn't really show you like what do you what kind of lowlights Larry Bird has, like not trying to be negative, but like what mistakes he made. Because nobody's perfect and yeah, sports, nobody's perfect. There's always a weakness somehow, but you have to find it. But you can't find that if they're always highlights, not always like not always highlights. Like you could this is what coaches in basketball do. They record a whole game and then they use it for film, tape, videotape even, VHS tapes back in the day, CDs even of games like let's say Duke Georgetown in like I don't know, 1992. Like a John Thompson versus a Mike Krzyzewski, Duke University Blue Devils versus the Georgetown Hoyas. Let's use that as an example. Like, would you want to use highlights and highlight a aspect of somebody's game of like someone's only shooting threes, shooting like post fades, even jumpers, free throws, even though free throws you don't really put in highlights, like to stake out and analyze people's movement as a player standpoint of the game. Can you really get it out of one videotape, one video film, one highlight film? Like, can people actually do that and like not even get representation, but like a touch, a feel, a scent, a sense, a I can see that, or good job, or you got to do better on this. Another example I could use is Kobe Bryant. Like, Mamba mentality just didn't come out of nowhere. It was because he went to court, and not in just documentary, but like in 2003, Kobe Bryant went to court for reasons that I should speak about, but it made him switch his mindset to saying, "Oh, I got to be a better player, a better mom, not even Mamba, better father, better family member, better person as a son. Like I gotta take care of people like my family and all that." Yes, I watched the Kobe Bryant documentary on CNN. That's where I got that reference, by the way, if you're wondering. It's episode 2 when Kobe Bryant in 2003 is in Denver. Yes, this is that talk in Denver, which people don't really talk about because Kobe Bryant passed away, but we don't forget about what actions he left. We only think about the Mamba plays, not even Mamba plays, not, well, somewhat Froby, but Mamba. But yeah, what I was trying to get here is that um Kobe Bryant, he had a switch in his mindset to be better as a person, to be better in life, to not create, well, somewhat create, to initiate, like, not even a normal person, but like a livable, applicable person that they can make mistakes, but they can always fix those mistakes by, well, sometimes they can't fix mistakes, but not everybody's perfect, is what I'm trying to say here. And yeah, it's just not that killer mentality that Kobe had. It's the way he lived and how he leads teams, how he yelled at Sasha Vujacic in practice to keep going and get better, to, as I said, lead a team or lead a practice, lead a championship team, to be an MVP, to be a Hall of Famer, to be remembered as that great player, not just basketball, but in a standpoint, yeah, as in a standpoint, he's just great as a person. But yeah, back into the sports highlight culture. I was speaking about the 8-10 hours, maybe even 15 minutes that you can watch highlights. It just doesn't give the full aspect. It represents some parts of people's games, but not fully. Like, does this person hesitate on jump shots? Does this person make bad decisions? Does this person shoot this shot at this timing? Can this person get pump faked at this apparent moment in time? Or will this person like make contact and get step backed on to a point where you're like Wesley Johnson on the floor when James Harden dropped him, when Wesley Johnson was on the Clippers and James Harden was on the Rockets. MVP James Harden, that is. So, yeah, that's some of the highlight cultures and sports takes that I had for the past 15 minutes. 15 minutes to save you more than enough time. Like, even 1 hour of watching sports, you can learn something new about somebody. Like, their not even an agenda, their criteria, or like muscle memory, just the way they act, or even how much discipline they have, or are they goofy with their game. Um, it's to a point where success chases what's that quote that Kobe said when desperation repeats on success and you just want to chase that dream, something like that. And then Michael Jordan, Air Jordan, Air Jordan just become Air Jordan. He was cut from his high school team and then came back to Laney High School, aka the Laney Jordan colorway. But yeah, we don't really talk about that either. The Michael Jordans, how people praise people's games, like Dr. J to Michael Jordan to like not even like a David Thompson to like a Kobe Bryant to a LeBron James. People have praise and appreciation for these guys, especially Jason Tatum to Kobe Bryant and his peers above him. Even Devin Booker, Kyrie, all these guys that you see in the league, they have not mesmeration of somebody, but like an applicable standpoint and appreciation and praise of somebody's game. So yeah, we love to talk about that. Just not in a full standpoint, just not in a complete standpoint, just small increments